Well, it is now time to welcome in the director of golf for the Hyatt Park Aviar, Renny Brown. Renny, welcome to KUSI's 19th hole.
Thanks for having me, Rick. Really appreciate it.
Definitely. Well, let's start with your initial thoughts on round 3 of the Farmers Insurance Open.
Yeah, well, watching the golf today, I mean, Torrey Pines played extremely difficult. You've heard many of the announcers, including yourself, talk about U.S. Open conditions. So there's really a premium on driving it straight. Once you can get it in the fairway, then you've got a good chance to get on the green and hopefully make some birdies. But if you hit it in that rough, it's going to be a long day for you.
Of that, you know, it almost seems kind of unfair that you talk about U.S. Open conditions. Those are supposed to be the toughest. This is a regular tour stop, and they're, you know, making most of these guys shoot over par today. Is this really fair for these guys?
I actually love it. To see these guys have to use every shot in their game to make pars, and there's a premium on accuracy with the driver. Again, if you can hit fairways, you've got a good shot at the green, and then it becomes a putting contest. So for these guys, you know, some of the longer hitters, such as Woodland, who's scaling back from his driver and hitting some irons off the tees, I like to see that.
Now, the one thing that really stood out to me today was everyone struggled on this course, and the guy who really struggled was one guy named Tiger Woods, who's won here 8 times, 7 times at this particular tournament. Did you ever think that you would see a scorecard that we're going to show the video like this one from Tiger Woods at Torrey Pines?
Yeah, I mean, Tiger would be the first to admit that he didn't have his A game, obviously. You look at that scorecard, and what stands out is all the bogeys in a row. And you could, you know, watching the round, Tiger hit very few fairways. The rough is deep and thick. That kikuyu grass just grabs your club, and he didn't really have much of a chance today. I give him credit on his last putt, grinding it out to not shoot 80 for the first time here.
Do we read anything into this, or is it just one of those days that golfers have? Because he looked a little disinterested toward the end there.
Yeah, I wouldn't read too much into it. Tiger's obviously probably him and Jack Nicklaus, 2 best golfers of all time. It's his first event this year, so you've got to put a little bit to that and know that really what he's going to be focused on is coming up at Augusta National in April.
And, you know, speaking of disinterested, though, because I heard somebody else talk about it, I mean, do you think a golfer gets disinterested when they're playing so poorly? I know, you know, amateurs like me do.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you know, and after the round, he didn't want to talk to the media, which is understandable. He probably is back in Florida now and getting ready for his next event.
Speaking of that, we actually have that. Let's go ahead and run Tiger Woods talking to the media.
Tiger, no, I'm done.
Easy enough. He's not talking to anybody. Now,
short and sweet.
You know, the next thing is, was Tiger and Lefty. Did you, I mean, Tiger and Lefty aren't going to be there on Sunday. Tiger missing this Saturday cut. Lefty pulling out because of the back. I mean, is there interest left in this golf tournament without those guys?
I think so. I mean, certainly San Diego crowd, we'd love to see Phil Mickelson there. I think he did the right thing in withdrawing. There's no reason this early in the season to risk further injury and jeopardize, you know, a player of Phil's caliber. He's going to be gearing up for all 4 majors this year. I think he did the right thing. I think it's a great opportunity for the fans now. You're not going to have the big crowds following Tiger and Phil around. Pat Perez will probably see a bigger crowd than what he's used to, being a San Diego native. And I think it's a great opportunity to go down there, enjoy some beautiful weather, and watch some great golf, because there's still some really good players on that leaderboard.
And speaking of that, I mean, you know, Woodland is one of those guys who was in contention in a major. I mean, that's the thing that people don't understand. It's just they don't have the wins that Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson do they?
No, but those guys, Gary's won a couple times on tour. There's Mark Leishman out of Australia that's won. You've got a compelling leaderboard. You've got Jordan Spieth, the 20-year-old that's just got tons of talent. So I think it'll be a great finish tomorrow down at Torrey Pines.
All right, now I'm sure these guys are going home tonight and cursing this course, but once they settle down, now they have to figure out how to play the course tomorrow. You're playing in the final round at Torrey Pines tomorrow. How do you play this course?
Well, I won't tell you how I would play it, but for these guys, it's going to be what we talked about earlier. It's going to be fairways. Once they can get the ball in the fairway, they've got a good shot to not only get it on the green, but try to do some damage with some birdies. The lowest score on the South course all week has been 5 under 67. So I think a guy like Gary Woodland, who's at 8 under right now, he's probably got his eyes set on, maybe a couple under par again today. If he can get to 10 under, that'll probably be enough to do it.
And the other thing, we were talking about the course conditions. You have the lettuce on the outside. You got the thinner, fairways, and then you also got the hard greens. I mean, really, how hard is a course like this, for somebody to play, even for these pros?
Yeah, well, you're seeing it today, where 5 under, you go to a normal tour event and 5 under or 8 under for 3 rounds. That's not even going to get you close to the lead. Last week in Palm Springs, I think 28 under par won the tournament. So but these guys realize that they're pros. They've played in this before, and you just got to realize that everybody's playing the same conditions. It's a matter of hitting some fairways, greens, and whoever gets a hot putter on Sunday could be in the winner's circle.
All right, now time to put you on the spot, sir. I'm going to ask you who is going to be your 2014 Farmers Insurance Open champion. This is going to be forever Lauren on TV, so pick.
Very good. And I'd like to support the local fellow, Pat Perez. I think he's got a good shot at winning, but from what I saw out of Gary Woodland today, he's really long off the tee. He's long enough where he doesn't have to hit driver on every hole. Torrey Pines is playing at 7,600 yards. It's a lot of golf course, and I think come Sunday afternoon, Gary Woodland's going to be your champion this year.
And you talk about him, one of the things that you talk a little bit, his strategy. A lot of guys want to hit driver, 3-wood off the tee. I saw this guy on par 4, straight par 4s, and he's hitting a 3-iron. That's kind of unheard of a little bit. That's, almost like playing a major, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, I heard today that whatever iron he has, if it's a 2 or a 3 iron, he hits it about 280 yards. So it's a huge advantage for a person like that to not have to hit driver on every hole. And Torrey Pines is, you've got some par 4s that play close to 500 yards. So it's a big advantage. I think he's #1 in greens in regulation. And again, if he can just continue like he did today, I think he'll be well set up for tomorrow.
Now, Renny, a lot of people don't know the Park Hyatt Aviara up there in Carlsbad has their own tour stop, an LPGA Tour event called the Kia Classic. Talk to me about the Kia Classic. That's a lot of fun to go to, isn't it? What is it about the Kia Classic that makes it special for you guys?
Yeah, no, the ladies of the LPGA Tour are fantastic. One thing that I really like about the golf course for coming to Aviara and where we are on their schedule is their first major is the following week. So last year, for instance, we had 99 of the top 100 players play in the event. The ladies love the golf course. We had a really exciting finish last year where Beatrice Riccari beat IK Kim in a 2-hole playoff. And I think we're set up this year again for a really good field. And we'll hopefully look forward to seeing all your viewers out at Aviara and the Park Hyatt in March.
Do you think they'll get 100 of 100 this year?
We're hoping so. We would have had 100 out of 100 last year, except for an illness with Natalie Gulbis. So I think we could close in on that, and that would be an LPGA record if we actually did 100 of the top 100 players.
And for those interested in tickets, you can go. We have the board up here, KiaClassic.com, March 24th to 30th. You can go see Renny. He'll tell you how to putt those greens because they're absolutely some of the toughest greens in San Diego. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to be honest. So, Renny, thank you very much for coming to the 19th hole. We have your pick, Gary Woodland, and we'll be out at the Kia Classic this year, and definitely go and check it out.
We'll look forward to seeing everybody, and thanks for having me on.
Excellent job on your rookie debut on the 19th hole. Renny?
Thanks very much.
Definitely. Thank you very much.